YouTube, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. It is your boy Zay, back on your screen here on some MW3. I'm sure a lot of you guys have been trying to figure out where and how to find the best settings you possibly could be using right now on MW3, whether that's for console or that's for PC. Now listen carefully now. I found some secret crazy settings and help you pretty much play at the best capacity levels you possibly can. Make it seem like you have no recoil when you're shooting your guns. You won't even notice the recoil is there. Make you be able to allow you to be able to go on those long kill streaks and get high gun streaks in game in multiplayer. Stay tuned for these settings. And also, if you guys also didn't know, I have my boys use the exact settings and they vouch for it and said it works as well. Change the way they play the game and they actually going crazy after changing these settings. So let's get straight into that for you guys. Here you go. So I'm going to be giving you the exact settings that I was using and I currently am using right now, so you guys can do the exact same thing in your games as well. Let's get straight into it for you guys. First things first, if you guys don't already know, I have switched to PC. I'm not fully integrated into PC. I still have my consoles, of course, so these settings work for console as well. If I have anything that's specifically set for PC only, I will be calling it out and letting you guys know as well, so that if you are on PC, you guys can also change your settings as well, but it's worked for PC and console. If you are on console, obviously you won't use the PC settings, and I'm gonna be giving those for PC players only. If you're on PC, obviously you won't be using the console settings. All right, so let's get straight into this. First things first, we're gonna go straight into the controller settings and go straight into controller. We're gonna go down to where it says controller vibration. Now guys, I am playing controller on PC, so of course, you know what I'm saying, if you guys are like me and doing the same thing, make sure your vibration is off on your controller. That goes for PC and console players. Turn your vibration off. It absolutely messes with the accuracy of your gun when shooting your gun. Now we're gonna go down to dead zone input. Now we're gonna click X to show more. Now I recently played around with my dead zones just to make sure it all worked well for me, and it should work for you guys as well if you guys try this out. But first things first, we're gonna go down to left stick min. Left stick min is gonna be 50. Make sure it's at 50. Your left stick max is gonna be at 75. All right, then your right stick min is gonna be at 2. Your right stick max is gonna be at 90, and then left trigger and right trigger is gonna be both set to 2. Either 2 or 1, whatever works best for you. I have a scuff controller. I don't know if you guys use scuff controllers or elite controllers, but it doesn't matter. This is pretty much the same thing as if you're using a scuff controller. It makes your triggers be more reactive and responsive to when you tap them, so you can shoot and aim in a lot faster. All right, next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go into aiming. Now when we go into aiming, I don't know what sensitivity you guys currently play on, but for my snipers, if you guys happen to be sniping all the time, you guys can go ahead and keep your sensitivity as high as you want it. I don't care for that. These are for my more accurate players who play for split subs or battle rifles or even ARs. All right, LMGs as well. These are for y'all. Okay, so I recommend staying between a 6 and low. All right, so for my very first sensitivity, we have horizontal stick sensitivity, we have it set to 6, and then vertical stick sensitivity set to 5. Now there's a new thing that they added where pretty much if you click show more on these different things, you can change you can go to pretty much the advanced horizontal stick sensitivity or sensitivity in general. It is a lot harder to deal with, but I mean, you can really get accurate with this. And in order to do this, you have to make sure that when you click A on where your sensitivity is at, go all the way to the top and go to custom. And when you go into custom, you can change that. I don't recommend using it. It throws it off a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So I left it alone for now, but there is a fine tuning that you guys can go ahead and adjust if you guys want to get into that as well. We're gonna go down to ADS sensitivity multiplier. We're gonna change this to a 0.8. I don't know what you guys play on, but I typically keep this between a 0.70 and a 0.8. All right, no higher than the 0.8 unless you're a sniper. If you're gonna be sniping, you want to be able to aim it as quickly as possible. So I recommend keeping it at a 1 or above if you're sniping. Next thing we're gonna go down to, of course, because we have a thing called tactical stance now. So pretty much you want to make sure your tactical stance sensitivity is set to a 0.7. Obviously, we can't put it at a 0.75 or else I would, because that'd be in between the 7 and the 8. So keep it at a 0.7. Go down to advanced response curve type and make sure it's set to dynamic. A lot of you guys are probably playing on a default setting, which is standard. Make sure it's set to dynamic. This is going to allow you to be able to do a lot more with your analog sticks and control your recoil and accuracy when using your guns. Now, there's a new thing they added in recently in this game where if you can click the show more button, right, there's a whole lot more. You can go into the aim response curve scale slope and you can really fine tune your curve response type. All right, now if you're on dynamic, like I told you to go down to show more and make sure the aim response curve slope scale is at a 0.9. It's probably set to default at 1.0. Bring it down to a 0.9. All right, this would allow you pretty much your response curve type to really smooth into when you're using your analog and allow you to really control that accuracy when you're shooting your guns in game. Next thing we're going to go down to is ADS sensitivity multiplier focus, and we're going to make sure this is set to a 0.8 as well. 0.8 is going to match up with the top ADS sensitivity multiplier up top, okay? Make sure those are the same. So if you keep it at a 0.7, make sure the top one's at 0.7 as well. Keep it at a 0.75, make sure they're both set at 0.75, and vice versa for each whatever number you use, okay? Now we're gonna go down to aim assist, where it says aim assist. Make sure, of course, if you're not playing with target aim assist on, I don't know what you're doing, you must be on crack, but turn target aim assist on, okay? Go down to aim assist type, make sure it's set to focusing. For all my new players who are just getting the game and trying to get used to the control sensitivity and all that, use focusing. I guarantee focusing is going to help you be able to really lock on and really narrow down how you angle and lock onto your targets in game, okay? This is for my new players who are new to analog aiming. For those of you who are really good and accurate with your gun already and with the analog, use precision, okay guys? I have my set to focusing because I was still trying to adjust and find the best settings to help people who are just trying to get used to playing this game. So that's why I have it set to focusing for you guys as well. Sometimes I go back and forth depending on how I'm feeling in game. If I haven't played in a few days and I need to readjust and get used to controller again, I use focusing and then I switch to precision after like a couple of games. Now guys, there's a new thing called motion sensor aiming. This right here, guys, is what's gonna make you seem like you have a freaking aimbot, okay? I don't know what made them decide to add this in, but when I use this in a private match, it changes the whole game, okay, guys? So you guys go down to motion sensor aiming and click where it says motion sensor behavior and make sure it's set to ADS only, okay? When you have it set to ADS only, what this does is that when you aim in your gun, it's pretty much gonna search for detecting movement. So if it sees any type of motion within that area, meaning like if it's an enemy player in your crosshairs moving around, your gun is going to automatically kind of slowly lock on to where that player is at. All right guys, now let me show you how to get deeper into that. We're going to go down to motion sensor advanced settings, okay, and click this. It's going to take you to a whole new tab. All right, now we have motion sensor aiming. We're going to go down, you see what says motion sensor ratcheting. Make sure that is cut off. All right, you don't want to disable it, keep that off. We're gonna go down now to is gravity vector and make sure it's sent to controller, what this is gonna do is gonna match your motion sensor aiming up to your controller settings, so that the way your controller reacts to certain things is how this setting is gonna allow your guns and everything else in the game to react. Now we have two key things here right here. It is gravity sensor horizontal sensitivity and vertical sensitivity. So what this is gonna match up with your sensitivity that you have for multiplier in the aiming settings. All right, so I have mine both set to a 0.80. This is gonna help so that when I'm slowly aiming in with my gun and how I move side to side and up and down when I'm aimed in, this is gonna help me also to lock in on targets a lot easier. I promise you guys, I'm not even kidding, bro. You guys seen the clip. You guys are seeing the gameplay in the background right now. I was absolutely dinking people with these settings, bro. It don't make no sense. It seemed like my gun wasn't moving at all. We're gonna go down and make sure these two next settings are off, which is motion sensor horizontal and vertical inversion. Make sure they're both set to off. Make sure FOV sensitivity scaling is on, and then make sure motion sensor use stick ADS sensitivity is on as well. All right, everything else is gonna be locked up after that. Then we're gonna go down to motion sensor steadying threshold and steadying initial scale. Make sure they're both set to 0, 0. And then your flick stick activation is completely off. Guys, I promise you, I was in shock when I seen that they added this into the game, and I tried to test it out in a private match against veteran bots, bro. And trust me, I even went into multiplayer game just to make sure I wasn't bugging. And as I was in multiplayer games, I was adjusting different things to see what worked and what didn't. And I'm telling you, these work right here, okay, guys? Just for this, though, guys, the aiming settings, let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. Leave a like. Let's get straight to the next settings. Next, guys, we have movement behavior, okay? Movement behavior is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, you guys can set it to how you want to set it. I'm sure you guys have it set to a certain way where it works for you. But if you guys want to follow what I have, you guys can go ahead and follow along. I'll automatically turn automatic sprint off. We're going to turn tactical sprint behavior to toggle. Make sure it's set to toggle. Auto move forward is off, and tactical sprint behavior is double tap. Slide/dive behavior, guys. This is a key thing that you guys want to make sure you're looking at, right? Now, I know a lot of people complain about how it's, you know, tap to slide or tap to or hold to slide or whatever the case may be. Sometimes you might be trying to slide and it actually dives. You know what I'm saying? So change this setting to slide only. The movement in this game is pretty much based on sliding. No one fucking dives. I'm gonna be honest, nobody dives in this game. I mean, if they do, I rarely see it happen, okay? Sliding is what you want to have on because a lot of slide cancels are going to be happening, of course, you know, with the new movement in this game. Sprinting door bash. Guys, this one is very, very relevant because I can't stand when I'm running, you know what I'm saying, and I'm running up to a door. Sometimes I want to run and slide, and like I want to run into the side. I don't want to run directly into the door and open the door and then give away my location. So I turn this off, you know what I'm saying? It gives away your location quite often when using this setting turned on, and I recommend turning it off. Now guys, another key thing, like I said, sprint slide cancel is the main thing in this game, you know what I'm saying? So make sure you have slide cancel sprint completely on. Make sure it's turned on. You need to have it on. It is a must-have when playing MW3, okay? A lot of slide cancel is going to be happening in this game. That's just part of the new movement system in this game, and it's very, very relevant. Now we're going to go down to where it says interact reload behavior. Make sure it's set to prioritize interact, okay guys? You guys want to be able to tap to reload and interact, but also it's going to prioritize interact. So pretty much if you have a weapon on the floor, you tap to interact with, or whatever the case may be, or a door, and hold to reload, and vice versa. Next guys, we're going to go into the graphic settings. Now guys, for my graphic settings, this is for my mainly what you're looking at on my screen is going to be for the PC players right now. Some of the things I'm going to call out is going to be for console players as well, okay guys? So first things first, we're going to look here. You're going to see for my PC players, make sure your screen refresh rate is set to a 75.02. Next, we're going to come down to NVIDIA reflex low latency. Make sure this is on plus boost. It's gonna make you have the best low latency for your PC as possible, okay guys? Now we're gonna come back to sustainability, guys. We're gonna make sure sustainability is up to unlimited. For frame rate, custom frame rate limit is gonna be unlimited, guys. Make sure this is set to unlimited so you get the most possible frame rates you possibly get in your game, okay guys? Now we're gonna go over here to quality in view, go down to depth of field. Console players, you should have this setting as well. Make sure this is turned completely off. Turn depth of field completely off. It's gonna mess up the way you look when you aim down on your sight. Things are gonna seem a lot blurry and out of focus outside of you aiming down your side of your gun, and you do not want that. You want everything to be in focus and clear so that you can see if enemies are around you as well when you're aiming in down your sight. Now we're gonna go into the view. This should already be default for console players in the view settings for graphics, but we're gonna be looking at the field of view, guys. If you guys are not playing on 120 FOV, I don't know what you're doing, man. At 120 FOV is the best and only thing you should be playing on. That way you can see a full variety of your screen and the map layout of everything that's going on around you with your monitor. Go down to ADS field of view. Make sure this is set to affected. You want your gun to be affected by the FOV because it's gonna reduce the amount of recoil that you see and visual recoil effect with your gun as you're shooting in game. Make sure your weapon field of view is set to default. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to mess anything else up with that. We're gonna go down to camera, go to world motion blur. Make sure this is set to off, as well as weapon motion blur off. I don't know, some people actually play with this shit on. It's crazy to me how they play with that and still be able to focus and lock it on their kills. I personally don't think it's a good idea. It does not look good. It does not look great. It makes everything seem out of focus. When you're turning, looking left and right, your gun sways and makes it blurry. And your world view also sways and makes it very blurry. It's hard to see enemies unless you're really close up in their face, so I recommend turning this completely off. Go down to film grain. It should be right underneath this, and turn this all the way down to 0. What this does is going to decrease the amount of noise that you're getting in your game, making everything look a lot more crispier and a lot more clean in your games. That way you can see people and make everything more clear, because it is very, very hard to view people and spot people in this game because a lot of colors blend in a lot. So if you drop the noise, you know what I'm saying, and also increase the sharpness, it'll make things look a lot crispier and a lot clean. Now for my console players, if you guys don't already know, I personally, because I'm not on my console right now, but if you guys have a setting called, you guys have fidelity effects, you guys turn this fidelity effects all the way up to 100%. It'll make your game look a lot more sharper and a lot more clean. I can't show you this because I'm not on the PC right now, but on my Xbox, when I did have this setting on, I turned it all the way up because it makes things look a lot cleaner and a lot brighter. Next thing we're gonna go to, guys, is gonna be the audio settings. If you guys are not using these right audio settings, you guys are gonna be freaking losing your gunfights and not be able to pick out and point out enemies when they're coming close to you in time. All right, so in audio settings, we're gonna go to headphone. Make sure your audio set to headphones bass boost. All right, you want to be able to hear the basses. All right, you want to be able to hear footsteps as loudly as you possibly can within your game. So make sure you're set to headphone bass boost again. We're going on to volume, weapon volume. Make sure you're set to all the way 100. Then we're gonna click show more. All right, when we get into show more, we're gonna make sure the gameplay music volume is down set to 10, the dialogue volume set to 10, effects volume set to 100, voice chat set to 50, and cinematic music volume set to 20. Now, the reason why I have it set this way is because you want to still be able to hear your music. Music's kind of calming. Well, me personally, the music's kind of calming. Not to everybody. You guys can turn it off if you want. Dialogue, the same thing. I can, you know what I'm saying, when I hear dialogue, it gives me direction of what's going on in certain areas and what direction. Voice chat, you want to be able to hear. Obviously, if you want to talk to them in game chat, keep the voice chat at halfway percentage, so it's not too loud, but it's also loud enough so you can hear. And then cinematic music is so that when you have cinematics, you know what I'm saying, you can turn it off. It's preferable, you know, there's an option. You don't have to have it on, but I choose to have it on. And then obviously effects volumes you want to have all the way up because that's going to control your, you know what I mean, your footsteps, your gunfire, you know what I'm saying, directional footsteps so you can know where everything's going on, when you can hear grenades getting blown up, all that. Effects is what you need to have maxed out at 100. Come down to mono audio right here, guys, in the functionality, and make sure mono audio is turned off. Now with this, and when you turn it off, it makes it so that you get directional sound, so you can hear what's coming on your left and you can hear what's coming on your right. Okay guys, that's gonna do it here for these settings. Let me know what you guys think about these settings in the comments down below. If you guys happen to use these settings and try them out, please leave a like if you guys happen to use it and it worked for you, and also leave a comment of any suggestion that you guys think I should also change to these settings as well, that you thought was better. It might be better for me as well. I don't know. I'll give it a try. Just leave it in the comments down below. Don't forget to show some love by subscribing to the channel if you are new. And it's been your boy Zay, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.